All right, so you're getting ready for your UPSC interview.
Big day.
The final hurdle
Absolutely.
before you potentially become a civil servant. And we have got a stack of expert advice to help you prepare.
It's a challenge, for sure.
And it's not just about knowing all the facts right. You've got to showcase you as a person,
Absolutely.
your confidence, your clarity, and how you make decisions under pressure.
It's a personality test as much as it is an assessment of your knowledge.
Yeah, and you know, one thing that really struck me going through all this material is the emphasis on the day F. You know, that detailed application form we all diligently fill out? It seems like it's not just a formality.
Not at all.
Yeah.
The panel really dives deep into your day
Okay.
to understand you as a person, and they're trying to connect the dots between your experiences, your interests, and the kind of civil servant you might become.
So let's say somebody mentions bird watching as a hobby on their day F.
Okay.
They should be ready for more than just, oh, I enjoy watching birds.
Absolutely. They might ask, tell us about a recent bird sighting that really intrigued you, or how has bird watching shaped your perspective on environmental issues?
Wow.
They're looking for genuine engagement with your hobbies and how those experiences might translate into your work as a civil servant.
That's a good point. It's not just about listing things.
Right.
It's about reflecting on those experiences and drawing meaningful connections.
Right. It's about showcasing your thought process and your ability to connect seemingly disparate areas of your life.
Now, I know staying updated on current affairs is crucial for any UPSC aspirant, but I'm curious, how should our listener approach current affairs specifically for the interview?
Well, it's not enough to just passively consume news.
Okay.
You need to actively engage with it.
Right.
Think about India's G20 presidency, for example.
Okay.
Don't just memorize the key talking points. Dig deeper. What are the potential challenges and opportunities for India? How do you see India's role evolving on the global stage?
So it's about forming well-informed opinions.
Yeah.
And being able to articulate those opinions clearly and persuasively.
Exactly. You need to demonstrate that you can analyze complex issues, weigh different perspectives, and arrive at your own conclusions.
And this analytical approach should apply to their chosen optional subject as well, right?
Absolutely. Let's say you chose sociology as your optional.
Yeah.
You need to be able to connect sociological concepts to real-world issues.
Okay.
For example, how can sociological theories help us understand and address social inequalities in India?
So it's about demonstrating a deep understanding of the subject matter and its relevance to contemporary issues.
Right. It's about showcasing your ability to think critically and connect the dots between theory and practice.
Now let's talk about a topic that I think a lot of people find challenging: ethical dilemmas. How should our listener approach this area for the interview?
Well, remember, there are rarely clear-cut right answers when it comes to ethical dilemmas.
Right.
The panel is more interested in your thought process.
Okay.
How do you approach difficult situations? What factors do you consider when making decisions?
So it's more about demonstrating a sound ethical framework rather than having a predetermined answer for every scenario.
Precisely. Think about it this way. Imagine you witness corruption within your department.
Ooh, that's tough.
How would you handle that situation?
Yeah.
What ethical principles would guide your actions?
It's about showcasing your integrity, your judgment, and your commitment to ethical conduct.
Exactly. And practicing with hypothetical scenarios like this can help you develop that ethical muscle memory.
Now let's move on to an area that can feel overwhelming: national and international issues. Where should our listener even begin with such a vast landscape?
Start by focusing on key areas like the Indian economy, foreign policy, and social issues. Look at recent developments, policy changes, and areas of debate. Don't try to be an expert on everything, but have a solid understanding of the major issues.
I remember feeling completely lost when I first started trying to understand economic policies. It felt like a whole different language.
It can be daunting. It's helpful to break those complex topics down into smaller, more digestible pieces. Look for resources that explain things in simple terms, connect them to real-world examples, or try explaining it to someone else.
So it's about finding ways to make those complex topics relatable and understandable.
Right. And when you're discussing these issues in the interview, focus on clarity and conciseness.
It's not about rambling on.
No.
It's about showcasing a clear grasp of the situation and the ability to articulate your thoughts succinctly.
Exactly.
And what about polity and governance? Any specific advice for our listener in this area?
Definitely brush up on the Indian Constitution,
Okay.
the preamble, fundamental rights and duties, and important amendments. Then look at recent government initiatives, public administration, and current debates around governance. Think about how you'd explain these concepts to someone who's completely unfamiliar with the Indian political system.
That's a great way to test your own understanding. Imagine you're giving a crash course on Indian polity and governance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it helps you anticipate the kinds of questions the panel might ask.
So it's about going beyond rote memorization and really internalizing those concepts.
Right. It's about demonstrating that you have deep understanding of how the Indian political system works and how it impacts the lives of citizens.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about knowledge and prep, but there's another key ingredient for acing this interview, and it's your personality.
Absolutely.
You know, it's about letting the panel see who you are, why you're passionate about serving India, and the kind of leader you could be.
It's about the human element.
Yeah.
You can have all the facts in the world, but if you can't connect with the panel on a personal level, it won't be as impactful.
So how can our listener really make their personality shine in this setting? I know I used to get so nervous in interviews.
Oh, yeah. Nerves are completely normal.
Oh, yeah.
The key is to channel that energy into enthusiasm.
Okay.
Let your passion for your chosen field, for the issues you care about, and for India itself come through.
Okay.
That genuine enthusiasm is contagious.
It's like even if you're internally freaking out, you can choose to project that energy as excitement about the opportunity.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of clear communication.
Yeah.
Practice articulating your thoughts concisely and persuasively.
Okay.
Maybe record yourself answering practice questions and listen back.
Oh.
You'd be surprised what you pick up on that way.
Recording yourself is such a good tip. I used to cringe listening back to my own voice. That it really helped me notice those little verbal habits,
Yeah.
that can distract from your message.
It's all about self-awareness.
Yeah.
And while we're on that topic, your body language plays a role too. Think about maintaining good eye contact, sitting up straight,
Yeah.
those sorts of things.
It's about projecting confidence, even if you're feeling a little shaky inside.
Projecting confidence is key. And remember, the panel isn't there to grill you.
Right.
See it as a conversation, a chance to share your thoughts and learn from experienced individuals.
That's a great way to reframe it. It's a dialogue, not an interrogation.
Exactly.
But even with that mindset, stress is inevitable. Any tips on handling the pressure of this interview?
Well, everyone has their own coping mechanisms. Some people find deep breathing helpful. Others might have a quick pre-interview ritual that calms their nerves.
Yeah.
Find what works for you.
It's like having a toolkit for managing those pre-interview jitters.
Exactly. And remember, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
It's okay to pause, collect your thoughts, even admit if you don't know an answer off the top of your head.
So being honest and humble can actually work in your favor.
Absolutely. It shows self-awareness and a willingness to learn. The panel is looking for potential, not for someone who pretends to have all the answers.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's about being authentically you, but the best version of yourself.
And that brings us to another important aspect of personality, self-awareness.
Okay.
It's about understanding your strengths, weaknesses, values, and motivations. Why do you want to be a civil servant? What are your goals? What kind of impact do you want to make?
Self-awareness feels like it takes constant work, not just something you switch on for the interview.
It's an ongoing process. Reflect on your experiences, both successes and failures. Think about your core values. Journaling can be a helpful tool for this. And don't be afraid to seek feedback from people you trust.
Getting that outside perspective can be so valuable.
It is.
It's like seeing yourself through someone else's eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The panel wants to see that you're capable of self-reflection and growth.
Okay.
They're looking for individuals who are open to learning and evolving.
It's about embracing that journey of personal development, not just for the interview, but for your entire career.
Couldn't have said it better.
So true.
Now let's talk about another crucial aspect of interview prep. Mock interviews. We touched on them earlier, but I think it's worth diving a little deeper.
Mock interviews are like the dress rehearsals for the big day, but how can our listener make the most of them?
First, find the right environment and feedback. Look for reputable coaching centers or experienced mentors who can provide constructive criticism.
I remember doing mock interviews with a group of friends who were also preparing for the UPSC.
Yeah.
We learned so much from each other.
Peer learning can be incredibly effective. You can bounce ideas off each other, get different perspectives, and support each other through the process.
And don't forget about recording those mock interviews. It can be eye-opening to watch yourself back and see how you come across.
It's all about identifying those areas where you can improve.
Okay.
Maybe you speak too quickly, use too much jargon, or your body language could be more engaging.
So it's about being open to feedback.
Yes.
And using it to continuously refine your approach.
Exactly. Treat each mock interview as a learning opportunity, not a performance evaluation.
I love that. It takes the pressure off and allows you to focus on growth.
But remember, don't get caught up trying to predict the exact questions.
Yeah.
You can't game the system.
It's tempting to try, but you're right, it's ultimately futile.
Instead, focus on developing a solid foundation of knowledge, critical thinking skills,
Uh-huh.
and clear communication. That will allow you to adapt to any question that comes your way.
It's about being prepared for the unexpected, being able to think on your feet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember, the panel isn't looking for perfect answers. They're looking for intelligent, thoughtful individuals who are passionate about serving their country.
So let's talk about those what would you do if scenarios, situational awareness questions.
Okay.
What are they really testing with these questions?
They're looking at your ability to think critically and solve problems under pressure.
Okay.
Can you analyze a complex situation and develop a strategic plan of action? Do you understand the role of a civil servant and the ethical considerations involved?
So like a mini case study.
Exactly. Let's say they ask, imagine a sudden public health crisis in your district. How would you approach the situation?
All right, how would you advise our listener to tackle something like that?
First, take a deep breath and try to stay calm.
Okay.
Break down the problem into smaller pieces. What are the key issues? Who are the stakeholders? What are the potential consequences of different actions?
So it's about taking a structured approach to analyzing the situation.
Right. And once you have a clear understanding of the problem, you can start to develop a plan of action.
Okay.
What steps would you take? Who would you consult with? What resources would you need?
It's about thinking strategically, but also practically.
Absolutely. And don't forget about the ethical implications. How do your actions align with the values and principles of public service?
It's not just about finding a solution. It's about finding a solution that's ethical and in the best interests of the public.
Exactly. And remember, the panel doesn't expect you to have all the answers.
Right.
They're looking for your ability to think critically, weigh different factors, and make sound judgments.
It's about showing your analytical skills and your ethical compass even under pressure.
Right. And don't underestimate the power of drawing on your own experiences and observations.
That's a good point. It's about connecting the hypothetical scenario to the real world.
Exactly.
Eh.
Have you ever witnessed a situation where leadership or problem-solving skills were crucial? Or read a case study that resonated with you?
Bringing in those real-world examples can make your answers more compelling and authentic.
Absolutely. It shows that you're not just regurgitating theory, but you're actively thinking about these issues and applying them to real-life situations.
It's about bringing your own unique perspective to the table, showcasing your ability to connect the dots between what you've learned and how you would apply it in the field.
Exactly. Now are you ready for the final piece of the puzzle?
All right, so we've covered so much.
A lot of ground.
The DFF, deep dive mastering current affairs and navigating ethical dilemmas, even letting your personality shine. But it feels like there's one more crucial element to really acing this interview.
You're absolutely right. We've talked about the knowledge, the skills, even self-awareness.
Right.
But all of that needs to be fueled by a positive mindset.
You can have all the tools in the world, but if you don't believe in yourself, it's going to be an uphill battle.
It's so true. You've put in the hard work to get to this stage. Now it's about trusting in your preparation and approaching the interview with confidence and optimism. And remember, the panel wants you to succeed. They're looking for capable individuals who are passionate about serving India.
It's kind of like going into any big challenge. You know, if you believe in yourself, you're already halfway there.
I love that analogy. So how can our listener cultivate this positive mindset? I think it starts with acknowledging and celebrating their achievements. You know, they've already come so far in this UPSC journey. It's a testament to their dedication and resilience.
It's easy to get bogged down in self-doubt, especially when you're facing something as challenging as the UPSC interview. But taking a step back and recognizing how much you've already accomplished can be a huge boost.
Exactly. Shift your focus from what you lack to what you've already achieved. And remember, the panel is not looking for perfection. They're looking for capable individuals who are committed to learning and growing.
It's about being kind to yourself, acknowledging that you're human, and embracing the fact that you're still on a learning journey.
Yes. And remember, the interview isn't just an assessment, it's an opportunity. It's a chance to share your passion for serving India, to showcase your unique perspective, and to connect with other individuals who are committed to making a positive impact.
That's such a powerful way to reframe it. It's not just about getting the job, it's about being part of something bigger than yourself.
Absolutely. So walk into that room with your head held high, a genuine smile, and the belief that you have something valuable to offer. Let your passion shine through, Engage in meaningful conversations and show the panel who you are and what you stand for.
You've given our listeners so much to think about, so many tools to use as they prepare for this interview. Any final words of wisdom before we wrap up?
Remember, the UPSC journey isn't just about acquiring knowledge. It's about becoming the leader you were meant to be. It's about nurturing your intellect, honing your skills, and embracing a mindset of service, integrity, and compassion.
It's about becoming the best version of yourself, both for your own growth and for the betterment of the nation. I think we've equipped our listener with a lot of valuable insights to help them approach this interview with confidence and clarity.
I agree. To our listener out there, believe in yourself, trust in your preparation, and view this interview as a chance to showcase the incredible individual you are.
And remember, you've got this. We're cheering you on every step of the way. Good luck.
Best of luck.
That's it for our deep dive into the UPSC interview. We hope this has been helpful, insightful, and maybe even a little inspiring. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into a topic that matters.